Hi, it's Nick from Twin Trees Creative, and I'm going to talk you through how I went from this initial image through to this, and then finally through the use of Lightroom and Photoshop to this final image. So I was inspired to complete this edit after a shoot with Mike and a few others from True Life Captured, really good photography company. I've known Mike for a number of years now, and this was actually Mike being the subject in this photo himself. So we went to Digbeth, which is in Birmingham, and took some smoke grenades, so really cool background and back setting. And this was a photo that we used and edited in Lightroom and, like I say, Photoshop, so you can see we've gone in and added the clone stamp there to really add more smoke. So off the back of that, I wanted to edit this photo, and that's what this video is going to be about. So how we took this initial photo, made some corrections in Lightroom, which is what you're going to see now. So just cropping the picture. And then making some slight adjustments in terms of the temperature, so adding a few more blue notes into the picture. Changing the contrast and making some adjustments in the highlights to really pull out the detail in the smoke primarily. Bringing some blacks in to really add that cinematic look, and adding a little bit of clarity. Then went down and added a little bit of sharpening, just a little bit. And often what I do is pull the meter right up like I did there, and then bring it down until it looks good. And just added a bit of vignette in the detail to give it, again, that moody cinematic look. We then go in, right click and edit in Photoshop, so it then puts that picture into Photoshop with the adjustments that I've just made. And what I wanted to do here was obviously remove the guy in the background that was running around with the smoke grenade for us, and using the clone stamp. So just going in and holding the Alt down and left clicking on the section of smoke that I wanted to clone, and making adjustments at the top there to change the size of the stamp depending upon which part of the smoke I wanted to move across. I'll make adjustments. So just speed this bit up now for you, and you can see how we actually go in and really quite dramatically change the look and feel of the picture by using the clone stamp. At this stage I had a great idea to add some stars in at the top of the picture, but in order to do that I could see that I was going to need to edit the picture some more, so I went back into Lightroom, went into the photo that we've now edited in Lightroom already and Photoshop. And ideally I would have done all this initially, but at this stage, the initial stage, I hadn't thought of putting anything else, another layer on in Photoshop. So going back in now and using the gradient tool. So I just wanted to remove that that white strip on the building at the top. So just going in and adding some, pulling the exposure and the blacks down really, and adding 3 different gradients in, just at the top and in the bottom left and right. So really drawing your eye into Mike, the model for this picture, and also the reflection in the water that's in front of him. Hopped back into Photoshop and added a vector mask to the original picture, and then when you pick the brush tool on the left hand side, really important that when you do this if you want to remove the top layer and reveal the layer underneath, that you've put the brush to black on the top layer, because black will remove that initial image. And I changed the hardness. You can see the hardness there is only at 1%, and that's because I wanted to blend the two together. So I didn't want to remove the initial layer and the smoke altogether. I wanted to blend that with the stars above it. And then tried doing it at the bottom on the right hand side. It brought in a orangey hue that I didn't particularly like. So you'll see that I resized now that background image and move it around until I got a feel that a look that seemed to fit the image better. Then went back out of Photoshop and back into Lightroom again, probably a couple of trips more than I'd like ideally, after adding some more smoke through the clone stamp, back into Lightroom and made some more basic adjustments in Lightroom just to make some of the colours pop a little bit more, and again give it that cinematic look.